I'm sick and tired of TikTok,
Suicide. He took it all away, baby. He took it all away.
and YouTube
And then I heard his voice and he just said, follow me.
telling me that my spirituality and my spiritual practices are wrong or demonic. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. So I researched a little bit and I'm going to present that to you. So in that YouTube snippet that I just showed you, okay, that comes from a channel named De La Fe Testimonies. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but their whole channel is dedicated to people's testimonies from going from witchcraft or new age spirituality to some type of organized religion. And it could be Christianity, Catholicism, whatever. I don't know too many organized religions. I'm not a part of one.
Absolutely not.
But either way, the whole channel is based on getting people's testimonies and getting people's stories. Literally, go check the channel out. That's all that's there on the channel. I have no hate to any organized religions. Everything is a preference. Her story was very, very, very heartwarming. I've been through similar things in my life as well. So I understand where she's coming from and I understand the things that she's been through. Now, in her video, just to sum it up a little bit for y'all, she grew up in an organized religion, and as she grew up, she went through a lot of traumatic things, and it caused her to have addiction.
And I began to do cocaine.
And just to be in abusive relationships, and I'm sure we can all relate, which is why a lot of us are on our spiritual journeys. She continues to tell her story, and she gets to the point of the story where she talks about how she found New Age spirituality.
I began to dive into crystal healing first. I was just reaching out for any type of healing, and that's when I got into like saging my room to get rid of those evil energies that were tormenting me. Tarot cards, readings online, like what do I have to do? Where's my inner child wound, or what's the soul wound that I'm avoiding? How do I heal this?
And she talks about how she found witchcraft as well. Now, in her story, it doesn't really sound like she was doing witchcraft. I don't really know what witchcraft to her was and what witchcraft is to that channel, but she was just talking about how she encountered crystals, found tarot cards, and it gave her a sense of self. It made her feel like she was in control of her life again.
In the New Age, I felt powerful, and the girl who had been assaulted found comfort in knowing that I created my own reality and I got to decide what comes next, and I got to be the writer of all of this. I found so much comfort in that moment because I had lost so much of my control.
So she continues to tell the man behind the camera, by the way, he sounds very it's giving off very much, I just want you to tell me your testimony for the content. Like, I know that's what the channel is about, but it's just giving very much weird. Like, you can hear his voice behind the camera. Listen, if you're here on this channel, we vibe on a frequency. So that means mentally you're tapped in. But you can tell when somebody's emotions is off. You can tell when somebody mentally is off. You can tell when somebody is lying. And you can just hear by the tone of your voice, and your energy is off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So the guy behind the camera, it was just giving, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
But in the New Age, I felt like I got it back. And
now, before you move from there, two questions. The first one, how old were you when all of this was happening, when you were experimenting with New Age witchcraft?
18.
18. And what did everybody around you think about this? Like, what were you hearing around, like, the people around? Obviously, clarify for me if this was something that was public. Did people know that you were doing this? And the people that didn't know, what were they telling you?
It was public. I was very outward with it. I would come into contact and I would let them know, like, hey, don't you know your Bible's been lying to you, and here's the truth. People were always very kind and receptive to what I had to say. Everybody that heard me talking about the New Age wanted to get into some parts. I know that there are multiple people that I had kind of led to the New Age. Even to this day, they still practice New Age practices because of how I would like explain it to them. I never had anybody be negative about it. Everyone was like, oh, wow, like that really makes sense. And I think it's because the New Age begins to address questions that the church does not. And because of that, things that people have always had as questions, and they're always like, well, I've always wondered why this is a thing, or what connects these two things. The New Age begins to bring those answers. And so people were always just receptive of the knowledge and the wisdom that seemed very spiritual, but was really earthly in nature.
So Jessica, talk to me about that moment that the Lord began to reveal himself to you again, and he began to really expose everything around you.
I could be wrong, but I was just getting that. You know what I'm saying? It was given very much knock, 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 Jehovah's Witness at the door. I'm going to pressure you to become Jehovah's Witness type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Now, he starts to ask her questions and she's telling him like, yeah, it gave me a sense of purpose. And I finally feel like I found myself again. The girl who was abused, the girl who was molested, she felt like she had power again. When really it's not my power to have in the first place. I don't have control. We all know who created this around us. So it's not about control. It's about how can you empower yourself to be the highest version of yourself. She was still in the beginning stages of spirituality, which very much encompasses the ego. You're still trying to let go of the ego. So for you to have that kind of mindset on spirituality, oh, I'm not supposed to have control, it's given very much ego. I'm still in my ego. I still have healing to do. It's not about control. It's about loving yourself and healing yourself. It doesn't matter. If you feel like you finally are in control of your life, that's how you're supposed to feel. You are supposed to be in control of your life. It's not about letting God control you. And no, it's not about control. And that says a lot. For her to say control, it says a lot about religion. When she said that, I was like, boom, ding, ding, ding. You hit it right on the bell. It's about control. So she continues to tell her story, and she's still an addict at this point, and she's still partying, hanging around the wrong crowds while being in this new spiritual identity. So as she is continuing, she went to sleep one night. She woke up in a cold sweat, and she doesn't remember fully what happened, but she might have saw something or had a dream or something, saw a spirit. But either way, she woke up scared. And she said from that moment on, she just wanted to release whatever was negatively around her.
I remember there was one night that I had gone to bed and I was drunk and high, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night in like a cold sweat, and there's like tears pouring down my face. I don't know if I saw something or if I had a dream or what. I just began to pray, and the only prayers I knew at the time were like those Catholic prayers. So I just prayed like the Our Father.
So she prays to the entity of Jesus Christ, and from that day forward, she felt the new age spirituality leaving her. All her spiritual tools, her crystals, and her tarot cards, they didn't resonate with her anymore. And she said that she looked at herself one day in the mirror and she did not recognize herself. She did not recognize herself as the strong, powerful person that she thought she was. She saw herself as broken. And she said from that point on, she heard a voice that said, follow me. Because she asked, what do I do from now on? What do I do? And the voice said, follow me. And she said that voice was Jesus Christ. So after that, Jesus separated her from her friends, separated her and isolated her from people around her so that she can heal herself. And ever since that day, she's been healed, right? That's the story. That's the testimony. These entities have a certain energy. They hold a certain archetype of a persona or a certain archetype of an energy. So if the entity of Jesus Christ does not resonate with spirituality, all in the Bible, it says divination, spirituality is not it, witchcraft is not it. So praying to that entity is of course going to take you up out of that, because Jesus Christ does not resonate with that. So it makes a lot of sense for her to have prayed and not resonate with spirituality anymore, any of her spiritual practices anymore. It makes a lot of sense. For it to take somebody to join an organized religion for them to find themselves, amen. I root for everybody. I root for everybody. So if it takes for you to join an organized religion for you to become your highest self, please do that. The world needs to be more on the frequency of love. So if it takes for you to be a Christian to do that, I want that for you. I'm not telling you to not be a Christian. But the problem with that is there's always this ongoing spiritual debate of spirituality, new age spirituality, divination, spiritual practices, witchcraft being seen as wrong and demonic just because you don't understand it and because you had a bad experience. Just because you had a bad experience does not mean that's going to be the same experience for everybody. So with that being said, we're going to dive into the history of divination, and we're really going to see where it came from, because I'm tired of y'all telling me it's demonic. I'm a light worker. I want to heal people and I want to heal myself. I'm too much of an empath to be working with no demonic energies. Okay, I feel all of that. That's scary to me, low key. A lot of these people, they touch stuff they don't understand. I see so many testimonies, so many stories on TikTok, so many stories on YouTube. I threw away my tarot cards. I threw away my crystals because I didn't understand it. I was confused. I was only getting practical advice from my tarot cards, and I had a bad experience. It didn't make sense to me. That's because, one, you don't understand what you're doing. You're working with energies or deities. You don't know what you're doing. You're not doing research. You're just getting the crystals and the tarot cards for the aesthetic because it's the trend. Okay? You're not really spiritual. You just want the crystals and the aesthetic. Okay? So that's a problem. And then it could also be that it's just not for you. It's not for you. Spirituality and witchcraft and all that stuff, especially witchcraft, is not for everybody. You have to have a certain type of mind. Your mind has to work a certain way to handle the secrets of the universe. Your mind has to work a certain type of way to handle the energy that comes with witchcraft, to handle the energy that comes with spirituality, to handle new age spirituality and crystals and tarot cards. Not everybody is going to be a psychic medium. Not everybody is going to be able to tune into the meaning of tarot cards. I watched this one video. She said that she got a reading from a lady and the lady just gave her practical advice that she already knows. Well, I don't know who you went to, but that wasn't a good reader. They did you dirty. They scammed you. What is divination? If you want to go off Google, divination is fortune telling, okay? And it's a form of seeking knowledge through supernatural means. I'm not going to play dumb fully, right? Like with that definition, I completely get the other perspective. Why would you want to get knowledge from supernatural things? Oh my God, you don't even know. You don't even know. You're supposed to get it from God. Baby, stop. My definition is a little bit different. I care about how can I become the best version of myself now. So if I'm reading my cards, I'm trying to figure that out. Should I go to this party because I have weird feelings about it? Should I take this job because I'm kind of feeling iffy about it? Should I do this because it makes me unhappy? Should I do that? The role of divination is to give you an extra insight, extra perspective on a situation. What do I got to do? God, tell me. And y'all talking about supernatural means. Is God not supernatural? What is the real definition of supernatural? Spirits? God is a spirit. It says that in the Bible. All of it is supernatural, bro. So I don't want to hear it. You can open the Bible after praying. And look, what do we have here? The answer to your question. That is a form of divination. You have spoken to spirit and spirit has given you an answer. They are the same energy with different names for different traditions and different cultures, okay? And different religions. It's all the same energy. It doesn't matter. So where did divination originate from? Like, who said, aha, divine divination? Divination goes all the way back to Mesopotamia. It goes all the way back to 14,000 BC. BC stands for before Christ. They try to say BCE, before Common Era. No, baby. Keep it to before Christ so we know what we talking about spiritually. Now, go down the line, go down the timeline. 4000 BC is when we have recorded history of empires becoming erected. So we have the Babylonian Empire, we have the Assyrian Empire, and we have the Akkadian Empire, okay? This is where advanced mathematics come from. This is where cuneiform comes from. Did I say that right? I don't know. This is where astrology comes from, astronomy. They studied the stars. They studied the planets. Matter of fact, the planets were their gods. If you one of the first people settling in Mesopotamia, you look up in the sky like, what is that big flaming ball? And how is it growing our crops? It's not super duper crazy of an idea for someone to worship the sun. Like, that makes a lot of sense. They studied these things. They studied these planets. They had advanced math. They was doing a thing. They named their days of the week after the 7 gods, okay? Many different gods. In Mesopotamia, they had a polytheistic system, okay? Which makes a lot of sense. I'm not a history geek or jock. I'm just telling y'all where this shit come from, okay? Because I don't really care about the whole history of Mesopotamia. So around 530 BC is when we get Cyrus the Great. And he comes along with his happy ass to conquer Babylon. And he was a part of the Persian Empire. So a few years down the line, around 300 BC, we get Alexander the Great. All these greats coming and conquering shit. Is given very much egotistical, very much toxic masculinity. We get Alexander the Great, who comes and conquers the Persian Empire, which eventually is conquered by the Roman Empire, okay? The Roman Empire is what started Christianity. The history of Mesopotamia was completely wiped out by around 100 AD. Now, AD means in the year of our Lord, okay? So that means Jesus Christ has already been born. Christianity has already been born. Religion has already been born, okay? The Roman Empire is what spread Christianity around, what spread Judaism around. They wanted to wipe out Mesopotamia, so all that y'all got going on with all this divination and all these gods and shit, this polytheism, no, take it away. Worship Jesus Christ. How about that? But at first, Christianity was nowhere to be found. BC. So now that we know what divination is and where it originates from, there are many different types of divination, okay? There are tea readings, bone readings, tarot readings. You can read whatever you want to read. Divination really does not even need a tool. You can have a pendulum. You don't need no tools to divine, actually. Divination is your connection to source. So the main ones that I see on like YouTube and stuff, it's becoming more and more mainstream for people to present their gifts online. So I see a lot of tea readings, which could be called tasseomancy. I see a lot of bone readings, bone throwings, which could be called osteomancy, and tarot readings, which is cartomancy, reading cards. So let's talk about each of the three and see where they kind of come from and the history behind them. We're going to start with tarot cards because I read tarot cards. I love my tarot cards. I love the imagery. I have a Rider-Waite tarot deck. I love the Rider-Waite illustrations because it's very straightforward. The story is straightforward. It's good for beginners to learn. So tarot cards started as a card game for the wealthy. It came in through Italy, okay, through Venice. Commoners could not play cards unless it was like a holiday or something. You know what I'm saying? Over time, once the commoners got a hold of these cards, they started to use them for other purposes, which was divination or whatever. These cards showed up in Italy around the 15th century. The tarot cards are made up of 72 cards, okay? There are 14 major arcana cards, and there are 4 suits, okay? There's wands, there's swords, there's cups, and then there is pentacles. Each of them representing a different element of earth, okay? It could be earth signs, water signs, air signs, fire signs, okay? And that's the representation of each of those different suits. Now, the tarot cards, they follow a story starting with the Fool. It's the journey of the Fool. And the tarot cards illustrate that Fool's journey. Okay, the Fool being card number 0. Another mainstream form of divination that I see online a lot is bone throwing or bone reading. The earliest evidence of oracle bones is in 12,000 BC. Okay, 12,000 BC. In the Shang dynasty, which is China. Osteomancy was found everywhere. North Africa, South Africa, Europe, everywhere. People been doing this stuff before Christianity was even alive. So this is the blueprint, babe. Now, I'm not saying go kill no animals or go kill no humans. Now, that's kind of extreme, but bone reading has evolved in the modern world today. So bones can be charms. Bones can be little play bones that you find at the store or something, but it's all about your connection to source. Are you even connected to source enough to even understand what these charms mean, to understand what the position that they were thrown out, to understand any of that? And then we also have tasseomancy, which is tea readings. And what this is, people will fill their cups with tea, with the tea leaves still in there, okay? And then they will drain the water, drain the tea, and they will leave the leaves in there. They will flip the cup over, and then they will flip it back over and look at the tea leaves that are still there after all the tea has drained. Tea made its way from China to Europe in the 17th century. People started to use tea because they wanted to use other forms of divination besides like candle wax readings and molten lead. They were reading like metal. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can read whatever. If you got the gift, you got the gift. If you're a psychic medium, you got the gift. It don't matter. So that leads us to our next topic. What is New Age spirituality? Basically, New Age spirituality is a range of different spiritual practices that have been modernized in the Western society since the 1970s. The purpose of New Age spirituality is to unify the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul. And it's to offer you the spiritual authority of yourself. So when a girl was talking about control, it's like, authority of yourself, sure, but control is a weird word to use. But if you want to talk about demonic, we can talk about demonic. What is demonic? What is demonology? Demonology is the study of demons. The study of demonic energy. If someone is demonic, it's because they want to be demonic. And first of all, the history on the word daemon or diamond, however you want to pronounce it, it means a guardian spirit. That is a Greek word for guardian spirit. So, I mean, what is really a demon? Who knows? Is it really this malevolent spirit that we've put onto it, or is it something else? Now, when you talk about personal demons, we all have personal demons in our shadow that are a part of our shadow. But if you want to talk about demonic spirits that we're working with as witches and shit, some people do work with demons, okay? They do demonolatry. Demonolatry is working with demonic spirits. There are many different demons. There are many different types of demons. There are 72 demons in the Ars Goetia, whatever you say that shit is. The Lesser Key of Solomon, okay? That book, The Lesser Key of Solomon, they have over like 70 demons in there that you can work with. They have sigils and seals that you can use to capture the energy of that demon and incorporate it into your spiritual practice, into your witchcraft. A lot of people make the argument, oh, how do you know that's your ancestors you're connecting to? How do you know this? How do you know that? How do you know you're supposed to be worshiping Jesus Christ? Stop asking all these questions you can't even answer yourself. All I know is these cards help me become a better version of myself. Ever since I started my journey as a witch in spirituality, divine witch, divination witch, I have learned to love myself 10 times more. My confidence has risen 10 times more. I believe in myself 10 times more. But the mental capacity that I have for life is way better. The spiritual, energetic capacity that I have for life is way better. I understand life a lot more. I understand why I operate the way I operate. Why I operated the way I operated in the past. I understand how to heal myself. I understand how to heal other people now. Y'all want to demonize things that empower us. And the reason why, we're not supposed to be empowered. We're not supposed to have the authority. That is all glory to Jesus Christ and God. Get the What's the key word? Control. I'm telling you. I'm tired of being conquered, sir. I don't want to be conquered no more. I need freedom. Can I not love myself and light a few candles? What's really going on? Why? Y'all will find a way to make anything demonic that empowers us as human beings having a spiritual experience. That's why if you're here on this channel, I'm here to tell you, do not let these people deter you from your spiritual journey. That doesn't mean you have to be a witch. That doesn't mean you have to work with herbs and candles. That just means if you want to connect with spirituality and read tarot cards and try to do divination, if that resonates with you, then do it. Moving on. So my experience with my tarot cards has been up and down, okay? Nothing is always good and nothing is always bad. There is duality in this world, yin and yang, female and male, positive and negative, good and bad, black and white. Then there's gray. My experience with my tarot cards has been definitely a great experience. Does it help me? Yes. But when I first picked up my tarot cards, it was a very hard thing to learn. It's like learning a new language. Let's say I'm sitting down and I'm like, oh, man, I'm just at a standstill right now. I don't know if I should take this job offer or this job offer. I don't know what to do. Please tell me. I'm gonna light a candle. I'm gonna pull out my cards. Whatever card comes out is the advice. There are different spreads, but I'm not sitting up here conjuring up demons. I want a demon to tell me how to get rich. No, I just want to better myself, bruh. It's like therapy for me. Not everybody can afford therapy, babe. I just hit up a therapist the other day. They said $125 for an hour session. Goodbye. What? I'm not playing with you. So if this is my therapy, then this is my therapy. I just don't understand. Y'all want to take and demonize everything. Stop trying to take stuff away from people. Y'all want people to be in a mentally ill state. That's why they try to demonize everything, because it empowers you. Come on now. Learn about your chakras. Learn about everything. You don't got to pick up cards. There are different ways to do divination. And you don't even have to do divination. You could live your life without doing divination. But see me, I be having questions. I'll be like, yeah, please help me on this right now, because a lot of people say, oh, tarot cards don't work. It's fake. It's really just your interpretation of the cards at that moment. So what if it is? Y'all want to take away everything that makes us happy. I'm still going to read my tarot cards. So give it up. But I have my tarot cards. I also have oracle decks. Oracle decks are like little messages, and it's the same way. If you are connected to spirit, certain cards will come out and it'll resonate with your reading. So these cards motivate you. I don't have no demonic cards, bruh. I'm not worried about you or a demon. I'm really not. I don't really want any demonic energies around me. I've been around real life people who have demonic spirits. It's scary. You can tell when somebody has a demon embedded within their soul and their spirit. Being around demonic people is not fun. So why would I want to recreate that in my spiritual practice? None of this is for a negative reason for me. Now, that doesn't apply to everyone. So that leads me to my opinion on this debate. Spirituality is not demonic. You're demonic. Your life is demonic. You have demonic energy around you. That's why your experience was not it. Don't jump into witchcraft and crystals for the aesthetic. That's where you get yourself fucked up at. You don't understand it. Now you sit up here confused and all this stuff. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic. It doesn't matter if you're Hindu. It doesn't matter if you're part of Buddhism. It does not matter. Be a good person. But duality. With good, there's bad. With positive, there's negative. Always. That's just how the world works. I don't know why. Don't ask me. To be honest, I believe we in hell. But you didn't hear that from me. But with that being said, okay, divination is not demonic. Spirituality is not demonic. But it can be if you are. So don't be demonic. And get away from demonic people and demonic energy. Because that's affecting you. That's why you think spirituality is demonic. And stop letting people talk in your mind, in your ears. Because, no. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for coming to the Playhouse. Okay? It's your girl, Clutty, and we out. Peace.